Hey peeps, today I'm here with Aiesha Cosmos and she's going to take me through how to do my Mayan astrology chart. And we're going to do it so you guys can follow through as well. So
what the hell happened?
You froze.
You froze too. I was like, what's going on?
It's like you were a ventriloquist. I was like, you said that without moving your lips. What a great start. I love it.
Oh my God, that is so funny. She channels just like sound waves from her mind.
Great. So you can tell what the energy is going to be like. It's going to be great. Okay. So did
that's
to
great.
draw this out, would you think?
Yeah. People need to draw or print the one. Like, so if you're going to send them all the files, they can print that and have it printed, or they can draw it out exactly like that.
So it would be a good time for them to pause the video now and draw this out or print it out. Yes. So that's step number one, peeps. Do that first. And then you can come back and unpause Aiesha's lips again. Okay. All right, so now we're assuming you've done that and you've got this drawn or printed out. What's next?
Okay, so now we're gonna need to use the Mayan apps, the Mayan calendar apps, to figure out what is your Mayan sign. And we use two apps, or if you're using the website has both in one.
Yes.
So
I'll put all this
the Mayan calendar.
Yes,
you'll put that in the thing
of the apps, but can you tell us what apps we're?
Yeah, so we're using Tzolk'in Explorer to figure out our Quiche or inner Mayan sign.
Okay.
And then we're using 1320 Sync.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the Tzolk'in one up so people can see. Sorry, I'm just needing to, because my screen was so bright when I held it up. All you could see was white, but hopefully you can see it now. That's it, isn't it? And
maybe tilt it. That's Tzolk'in Explorer, and that is for figuring out the lower cross on the
this
page.
One.
Yeah, the one at the bottom is the Quiche, and the one on the top is the Dream Spell.
Dream Spell, which is another app.
And that one is 1320 Sync.
That's right. That I recognize that name. 1320 Sync. So these are just for the iPhone, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah. Those are for the iPhone, and if you have Android, you can also find Mayan decoder apps for Android. And I did have an Android for a while, and I had them on there, but I can't remember exactly what their names are. But if you look up Quiche Mayan Astrology app, and then it will come up which ones are for that.
How do you spell Quiche? Sorry.
Quiuiche.
Quiche. I was going to say that's quiche.
Yeah, but that's one of the great houses of the Mayan lords.
It's the houses of the Mayan lords.
It's one of the 4 great houses of the Mayan lords, because
they lived in a quiche.
No,
I'm never going to see quiche the same again. It's like, give me that quiche and I'll be all magical. Okay, all right. You are what you eat, right? Okay.
I like quiche.
Okay.
So you can look up apps on Android Play Store for the Quiche or quiche and Dream Spell calendars. And so they're 2 different things. But also online, you can just go to a website that has all of it in one. Except sometimes some people feel like it's a little bit weird, but like if I look it up I can give you the exact address.
Mm-hmm. So whilst Aiesha's doing that, I will just go over, okay, quickly. So it's the Tolkien Explorer, which is spelt TZOLKIN on the iPhone, as well as the 1320, as if it was a digital clock face, 13.20 sync. That is on the iPhone. If you're on an Android, you need to look up Quiche, or Quiche, as it's called, Quiche, but spelled Quiche. Mayan, what was it?
Mayan calendar.
Mayan calendar, of course. I got so taken with the quiche. Mayan quiche. Okay.
Now you're getting hungry.
Food. I'm a bit of a foodie. So
I just sent you the link on WhatsApp.
Okay, and this is starroot.com. Yes?
Yeah, but it has to be that other stuff on there too for it to take you to the calculator. Otherwise, it just leads you to like the main page, and then it's hard to find.
Okay, all right. So I will put that link somewhere as well for people.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Don't worry, peeps. I gotcha. Okay, all right.
So that page looks like. How do I share my screen?
Down the bottom.
Okay, this one here. See?
Okay, got it.
So this is what the website looks like. And so can you see my cursor?
Yes.
So this sign right here, this is the dream spell sign. And
okay, so
this
that's the top cross.
Yeah, so this goes in the top cross, and so then this one goes in the bottom. And so once we have this up, we can fill out your chart by using this, because it's the more complicated to use, and then we can quickly lead them through how it's done on the app.
Okay, great. Okay.
So here is month, day, and year. When were you born?
11th.
So that's the 11th month?
Sorry, no. In England, we do it the other way around. So the 8th month of the 11th day, or the 11th day of the 8th month. So, yeah, that's it. Now I'm giving away my age. 1977.
I'm 77 as well.
Are you? When's your birthday?
Yeah, May 3rd.
Oh, okay. So you are a little Taurian bull in Western astrology.
And a snake in the Chinese.
Yes, we're both a snake, a fire snake.
Okay, so here's your chart. So this is August 11th, 1977. You are a magnetic sun, which is kind of neat. I don't think we've ever done your chart.
No.
Well, you're a sun in the dream spell, which is the outer self, and I am a sun in the dream spell, which is my outer self. So both our jobs are focused with the energy of the sun, and you're a sun guided by the sun, and because I'm a sun, then I'm also your guide. But then also together, because the sun, when it meets another sun, they blend together and they become a sun. They don't transform each other, they just stay in their own power. And so our connection together is also your guide.
Wow. And that makes so much sense for the retreat that we're doing together, doesn't it?
It's super interesting. And in your inner self, you are a planetary seed.
Okay.
And so in your inner self, you're planetary seed, and in my inner self, I am magnetic seed. So we are both seeds and we are both suns. So we actually have a lot of stuff in common. And then the seed and the sun, when they blend together, so your inner and outer self, this is what I call like your integration energy, how you kind of find balance with yourself, because the sun becomes other people. That's why you and I together become a sun, because we're both suns. So when your inner self and your outer self combine, then the integration is a seed, because you're a seed in your inner self. And so the seed kind of rules all. And for me also. So we have a very similar chart, except we'll obviously have differences, but we'll see them as we fill out your chart. So in your top cross, you can draw this
I will just
sun and see, this is what the cross looks like.
Okay, so this top cross here, I need to start drawing something. Yes.
So you will draw the sign that is in the center of the cross, in the center there. So that cross has like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then one that is on the far left.
Okay,
and
yes.
That one to the far left is the purpose, which here on the website, it is this spiral here that I'm outlining with my cursor, this creepy spiral type thing. This is what in the dream spell calendar is called a wave spell, which is pretty much just a 13-day week. So the Mayan calendar is 260 days long, and it is composed of 20 weeks of 13 days. And each one of these 13-day weeks has a sign that it begins with. And so that sign that it begins with sets the tone and the purpose for the work that all these other archetypes are going to be doing. And so because you are a magnetic sun, then you are the number one sun, which would be the one at the beginning of a 13-day period. And so you set the purpose for this sign, this sign, this sign, this, and all these other signs that are here, and also for yourself. So in your chart, you would put the sun in your center square, and then the sun above, because you're a sun guided by the sun. And then in the far left square, you would put this other sun here from the beginning of the 13-day period.
And of course, other people will have other things, but whatever's in those boxes goes in these boxes like this. Yes?
Yeah. So for you, it's all the same, because you're this triple sun, which is what makes you very opinionated and into your own thing. Because you're a sun that eats the sun that is empowered for the sun to be a sun. So it's kind of hard for anyone to get in there and have anything to say about that.
Taurus ascendant doesn't help either, I will say.
I'm sure. And I'm a Taurus too. This is very strange.
Oh dear.
Okay, so that would be like the first little things we can do easily from this and this. And then in your chart, your challenge would be the dog, which is the white one.
Right.
So you would have to draw that in the challenging position, which also in some of the Mayan apps, it says antipode, but that's just a fancy way.
Which is this one next to purpose. So that's antipode or challenge. Antipode or challenge. Okay. All right. So.
And then the one to the right is the compatible.
Okay, so this one here.
Yeah, that
compatible.
One. That's compatible. And so you have the storm here, which all of this also have Mayan names. So like your Mayan signs, Mayan name is Ahau. And then your challenge is Ok. Your compatible is Kawak.
Oh God, now I'm getting lost. So, sorry. Okay, so the dog is called Ok.
Yeah, OC.
Oh yeah, because I've written OK. OC. Okay. And then which?
And then this, your compatible is Kawak, C-A-U-A-C.
C-A-U-A-C, and that's the storm-looking one, the blue storm.
Yeah, this one is actually the hurricane.
Oh, okay.
So your challenge is the loving companion dog. Your most compatible is the hurricane. And your mystery here is the mother giving birth. That's your mystery. You don't know how to connect with that.
Okay. So and so what's the name for the mother giving birth?
Imish, which is I-M-I-X.
I-M-I-X.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And that is the mystery, which is this one.
Underneath. Yeah.
Okay.
And so just like at a quick glance, just from having this drawn out, and if you guys download the PDF that has the explanations of the signs, then you can see
on
that
your website
like
this. Is that on your website, the PDF?
Yeah, explanation. People can go on my website and there's a pop-up. You can sign for the newsletter and then you get an email with this PDF with information on the signs. Some of the apps also have information. When you touch on the signs, it opens like a little blurb of what it's about.
Okay, so let's just say what your email is. It's
my email.
No, sorry, your website.
It's www.aieshacosmos.com. So it's my name.
So it's spelled A-I-S.
AIESHACOSMOS.
Okay, so Cosmos as we know it. Just say the Aiesha bit again.
AIESHA.
Great. So aieshacosmos.com, and when you sign up there, you will get a PDF with what the signs mean, and you can just click on this website on these bits on the signs, and it will tell you stuff. Okay.
I was just picking up my dog.
Oh, hello. I feel challenged now with dogs. Mind you, I've always been more of a cat person. Yeah, we look cute. Is it Chihuahua? Yes.
Oh, my Chihuahuas. I never expected that I would want a Chihuahua, but now that I have 2 Chihuahuas, they've been with me for 8 years, and I just adore them.
They're so cute.
And then I adopted this other cute one. Okay, so this.
Have you called him Owak? What's the name?
Oh no, but he is a white dog, and I was like wanting him that. His name is Rufino Tamayo, which is a Mexican muralist from I think the 50s or the 40s or something, and I was in Canada wanting a dog. I still never had a dog. And my boyfriend, as a consolation prize for Christmas, gave me a stuffed animal of this little doggy that was all hairy with the scruffy hair. And it was always like all messy. And at first I was pissed off because I wanted a real dog and not a toy. But then I decided to call him Sparky Parks. And he was this like spunky dog. And I was always playing with him and just like pretending I would like fight and bark and get all rowdy. And then I adopted this one last year because the family couldn't take care of him. And after a few months, I was like, oh my God, because at first he was traumatized and acting very strange all the time and crying and sick. But as he started getting healthy and totally coming back to life and his funky self started showing, I was like, oh my God, you're like my little dog of the plush toy. Like he totally manifested like as a real boy, like totally like Pinocchio.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so he's a magic dog.
Awesome.
He is so fantastic. I always just have to show you him because he's so tremendously cute. And he knows I'm talking about him because he just came.
Oh, hello. You don't look like a Chihuahua.
No, he's the child of Gizmo and Falcor because obviously I'm a cartoon.
They are very cute. They are very cute.
Yeah. Very cute.
Oh, even though I'm challenged by dogs, they are very cute. I also just want to say that this is Tulum as well on this website.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is Tulum. But it just is like that, like this, I have nothing to do with this. I don't even know where these people are from.
Interesting.
And so I wanted to mention just a little bit of the attributes of each one of your signs, just so that people can get an idea of the kind of information you can get from decoding your chart in this way. If you grab the little notebook and you start looking up for the meanings, we could see that, like, okay, so this is the sun, it's unconditional love, surrender, and acceptance, and it is a universal minded sign which deals with things from a very large perspective. And so that's why the challenge is the dog, because the dog is all about family, companionship, looking out for the underdog and the person on the street, or the kids in foster care or whatever, just like really being about family, companionship, having your lover forever, like wolves mate for life. And so the sun is too universal. The sun loves everybody equally. The sun doesn't have favorites, doesn't think the child is more important than the penguin. No, the sun is like completely equal in the completeness of its love for all beings. And so it doesn't play favorites. And so it doesn't, like, even if you have a best friend, it's like, yeah, you can be super into that person, but then all of a sudden, you can also let that person go, no? Because they're, everything is just this huge, expansive thing. And that's why the sun becomes other people. And so you're a sun guided by the sun with the purpose of the sun. So all of these frequencies empower you. And that means that even more than others, you need to constantly have like a temple where you get to retreat from the world, because the sun is always giving. And so if you're always giving, then you're never giving to yourself, because the sun, in a way, does prioritize others, because that is its nature, no? And so even in a relationship of business partnership, or if you have a lover or whatever, you need to always keep a temple for yourself. You can't let everybody in every crevice of your life. No, like you need to retreat like the sun does every night, and have like this whole half of life that you spend in your own domain, connecting with the wind and the birds and your own dreams and your practice. And so then, because you're a sun guided by the sun, with the power of the sun, with the purpose of the sun, it's all this energy that makes you, stubborn and only able to listen to yourself. But also other suns can influence you, or days that are the sun, or years that are the sun, because this is a calendar and you can look at many aspects of life. And then your storm, which would be your compatible, it's a hurricane, and this is self-generation, self-transformation, to be your own boss, to make your own profession, and to not be following anybody, and to totally make it up as you go. And the dragon here is
the dragon.
The dragon image. It's also called the crocodile.
Sorry, I thought it was. Is it also the woman giving birth? That's what.
Yeah, it is also.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the dragon is like the primordial giving birth person.
Okay. Yep.
And so this is the divine mother giving birth, and it is the beginning of things. So the sun is very good at completing things, but it's not so good at beginning things. And so starting a new path, starting totally from scratch. And then also the sun needs to learn to focus on things that are more specific, rather than disseminating your interests in many different directions that all appeal to you, but maybe then you don't become master of anything, just like a jack of all trades. And so the sun needs to be able to also focus its energy to develop true knowledge and wisdom and power. And your main thing is that you have to be a teacher of the frequency of unconditional love by embodying it in yourself. So if you're freaking out or stressed out, and that's why the sun needs to decompress, recapitulate, cleanse, because we just pick up too much of stuff of everybody.
Yeah. I was just saying the same thing on my Facebook Live this morning, exactly what you're saying. So about tuning into other people, when you're intuitive, and how I'd done that and got really saturated. And actually, it was when I landed in Tulum. I had no idea. My whole world was going nuts, and I got on a plane and I came here. I'd never heard of it. I don't know how, it just happened. And actually, when I landed in Tulum, it was the beginning of the realization of how saturated I had been with everybody getting into my crevices. Gosh, that sounds wrong. So it's quite interesting. It's quite synchronistic, because I was just talking about that this morning, and how Tulum really gave me the ahas around it. And now you are here.
How interesting. That is really very interesting. And also the jungle is the domain of the seed, which is your inner self, and it's also your integration. And the jungle specifically of here, all of Quintana Roo and Chiapas, like all of this type of jungle was like the seed domain. So when you come here, you're very empowered.
I am. It was actually in the jungle. You see, that's my game there in the background. And it was actually doing a Temascal. I don't know if I've said it right, probably not. In the jungle, that gave me that idea. I think we spoke about that last time, but it was in the jungle. So that was the seed that I got that. Yeah.
How cool. Yeah, the jungle is totally your domain, and it's fully your house of power. And obviously the sun here is amazing too, and you get the sky and the sunrise and everything. So this is a place that is like very powerful for you. And then if we're gonna do the bottom part of the chart, then up here, this
part?
Yeah, the bottom cross.
Okay. Yeah.
So then the signs for the traditional Quiche Mayan calendar are often drawn differently from the dream spell, because the dream spell, if you can see, it's almost like they did it on a computer program. And the other one is like, like maybe how it would have been chiseled out of rock on the stucco of a pyramid, no? And so you can draw the symbols with this style of iconography, or you can do what it looks like here.
Okay, also, so we got to, basically I've got to put the Mayan Tzolk'in in the middle.
Yeah, so this Mayan Tzolk'in in the middle. And what this website has that is kind of interesting is that when you look the dream spell, it gives you like all these charts and all this stuff. And this, then I can deduce that this website was done by somebody that is more of a dream spell fan than a Quiche fan, but obviously they like both calendars because they're putting all of them in here. But they're giving you way more information on the dream spell than they do on the Quiche, because the Quiche, all you get is this little sign, which is the seed. And so you draw it there in the middle. And then you have the 2 bars, which is the number 10. And so you're a seed 10. And then it doesn't have any other information on that aspect of the chart. I know how to extrapolate all the information I need from this, which is the Tzolk'in matrix. So this is like all the Mayan signs that are combining with all the 13 tones. So those weeks of 13 days, each one is tone 1, tone 2, tone 3, all the way to 13. And so each one of the Mayan signs can vibrate at each one of the 13 tones. And so on this line, you can have dragon 1, 8, 2, 9, 3, 10. And these are the 20 archetypes. And so this is 260. The way that this flow is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 13. And then it begins at 1, wizard. And then 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 13. It ends with death, Kimi 13, and then it begins with the hand number 1. And so the weeks, are read this way, up and down.
Okay.
And so if I have your sign, and I'm going to go through this, but I don't think most people are going to get it because it took me a while to get. But since you can watch the video again and again, then it might be worth it to just get it down. So when I want to use this Tzolk'in matrix of the calendar to be able to figure out people's charts, then I would say, okay, so this is a seed, and that's what the seed looks like in the dream spell. But this is for your Quiche. So seeds are guided by themselves when they are vibrating at a 1, 6, or 11. So numbers 1, 6, and 11 is always guided by themselves in all the signs. So you're a 10. So if this is a seed 11 guided by 11, and then I want to figure out what is number 10 guided by, then I go 11, 10. So I skip one yellow one and I land on the next one, and this is a 10. So the seed is guided by a human when it is vibrating at number 10. So then you can draw this number 10 above you on the chart.
Okay, I am completely lost.
Yeah, no, this is super complicated, and really, I am only putting it down because it's recorded and people can watch it again and again and be able to get it little by little. If it was just a one-time thing, I wouldn't even mention it because it's not easy to grasp. Okay. And so then you are a seed, and so we just found out your empowerment, no? Which if I wanted to find it out for like a 12, then I would be seed 11 guided by 11, and then I would go 12.
Okay. So why?
And it's really weird because you have to skip one. So it's like 1, but you go backwards. When you go up, you go back. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would go back. So if this is seed 1 guided by 1, then this is seed 2, seed 3, seed 4, seed 5, seed 6. See? And number 1, 6, and 11 are guided by themselves. So you're always skipping one, going backwards. And this is if it was a circle, no? So up here they have it as a circle.
Okay, so that's what that circle is that table.
So it begins here: dragon, wind, knight, seed, serpent, death, hand, star, moon, dog, monkey, human, skywalker, jaguar, eagle, warrior, earth, mirror, storm, and sun. And so here it's just open, no? It's like in a line. So it goes dragon, wind, da-da-da. And so this is the beginning, and this is the end.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a circle.
I get you. Yes.
So, you know, you count forwards or you count backwards on the circle.
Uh-huh.
Those are the kinds of things that it takes a while to get used to thinking in that way.
Mathematics is something that throws me a lot. So I get the circle, and I get that that's a line, and that's really good to understand. But what is the point of that table exactly in the numbers?
Well, this is a whole Mayan year. This is the Mayan year. So say like if we look up here and we did today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what day it is today. I don't even know.
It's the 3rd of December.
Okay. So this is December 3rd, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And so today is magnetic seed.
Okay.
So today is a day for my inner self to come out, because I am magnetic seed, but I'm magnetic seed in my inner self, and today is magnetic seed in the outer self. And so now I'm gonna get to share all this stuff that I usually share with my little groups intimately, but now it's getting put out on the internet.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And then on the inner self, it's a mirror. So it's a day of contemplation. And down here, we can see today. So today is this.
Okay.
Seed number 1.
Right.
And so we've already gone through all this part of the Mayan year, which is only 260 days, and therefore doesn't line up with the 365. They're always overlapping and moving with each other. So that means tomorrow will be a serpent number 2, and the next day will be a Kimi 3, which is death. Yep. And so then you can see, so death, when it's a number 3, has the purpose of the seed. No, if you were like whatever, like say you're a seed number 10, so you're the seed, and here's a 10, and we want to know what your purpose is. So we just go 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your purpose is the eagle.
Okay, I'm starting to get it, but I've just got lost at the numbers again.
Yeah, so these numbers are just aligned the way that this would line up with the tones. And
how do you get like how do you get the calculation of like at this number lines up with, so this seed is this purpose? That's what
it's a formula. Like I learned it a long time ago. It took me like probably like a year to get it into my head. So, because I've been doing this for 22 years, you know, now it's just second nature. But at the beginning, I was super perplexed. I had to practice this every single day just to start getting a handle of it. But I had a drive internally to do this. Like, I definitely have a calling. This isn't something that comes easy to anybody, but I had the drive to plow through the confusion, not to actually arrive at some sense of like what's going on, and then eventually be really well versed in explaining it and interpreting it for people. But for a long time, I was just trying to figure out what is this.
Okay.
Super different.
Okay, so yes, it's normal to feel that way, perplexed and confused, but that table is a way of showing you what days you are compatible with. Is that right?
This shows you everything. This has everything, because you can extrapolate all that information from here once you know the formulas, no?
Right.
And so say the formula for finding your challenge is whoever you are 10 signs removed from. So you are sign number 4 if you're a seed, and 10 away from you is the jaguar. This is 14.
Okay.
So your challenge is the jaguar, which is this, which is the jaguar priestess. So you can put that in the challenge or the antipode.
How does that fit with this? Is it just it's the bottom?
No, you put this one. Yeah, there's the bottom.
Because so we're on the dream
spell. Now we're finished with the dream spell. Now we're completely doing your quiche chart.
Gotcha. We're in the quiche. Okay. And so in the quiche, I'm a seed.
Yes, you're
not a magnetic sun.
Planetary seed, which is a seed number 10.
Okay, seed number 10. I've written down there, and I'm no longer a sun here.
No, you're a totally different chart.
Okay, right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So this is how much I've got of this chart is a seed.
So your guide, which I can go through the formula again to find the guide, you have to count only the same color as you, because guides are always your same color. So you don't have to be looking at any of the other signs. So we're just looking at yellow. And so when we want to find a guide that is a number higher, so if you're a number 1 and you want to find the guide, if you're a 3, no? So ones are always guided by themselves, so we can always begin there. So the seed number 1 is guided by the seed. And then the seed number 2 would be guided by 2 behind it on the yellow. So if we were following the circle, the seed is here, and this is forward, backward.
Right. So it goes
1,
clockwise.
And then seed 2. So you have to skip 1 and go backwards.
Okay. And so if somebody was like red, for instance, they just count back 2 on the circle to the next
on the red. Yeah.
And
so you just count on your same color.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 backwards would be the guide. Right.
So seed, but depends on how high you're going with the numbers. So seed 1 guided by warrior. And then seed, so that would be seed 1 guided by seed 2 guided by warrior, seed 3 guided by star, seed 4 guided by sun, seed 5 guided by human, seed 6 guided by seed, 6 7 guided by warrior, 6 8 guided by star, 6 9 guided by sun, 6 10 guided by human. So this is your guide, because you're a seed 10, and so your empowerment is this. Seed 11 guided by seed, seed 12 guided by warrior, and seed 13 guided by star.
So it still sounds like it's always 2.
Yeah, you always go back 2, but you have to stay on the same line you're already counting, you know, so you have to go like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
To find your guide.
To find your empowerment or your guide. And so this is the one that goes above you on the cross. And so you put this human, you draw that little face above you.
I thought it was another dog, but it's a human. Okay.
Yeah, it's a human. It's also the road. It's the gypsy wanderer. I think of it as the gypsy wanderer. So your seed is the seed of perfection and manifestation, empowered by the gypsy wanderer.
Okay.
And then your purpose, which we were looking at down here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a seed here. Mm-hmm. And then the 10, because this is the line of the seed, each one of this has its own line. And so your seed 10 is over here. Here's the 10.
Yeah.
And then you go up, and then you have to go down. So here's the 7, here's the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you go over to the left to figure out what it's attached to, and it's an eagle. So your purpose is the eagle, because this is the first of your 13 days that you were born in.
Gotcha.
Of which you were the 10th day of that week.
Okay.
And so you draw that on the far left little circle, square.
Okay, so that's the purpose.
Yeah, your purpose is the eagle.
Far left is the eagle.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so he's got like an eagle eye.
Yeah, it's the third eye opening.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
So now we have the so you have your empowerment, you have your purpose, and then we get the challenge. Mm-hmm. So the challenge is a sign that is 10 signs removed from you. So if you're the seed, not the seed 10, but just the seed, because each one of this has its own numerology, no? So the dragon is number 1, the wind is 2, the night is 3, is 4. So a 4 plus 10 is 14, and the 14th sign is the jaguar, which I also call her the jaguar priestess, or the jaguar priest if it's for a guy.
Yep.
So this jaguar is your antipode or your challenge.
Yep. Got you.
And then how you find your most compatible is whoever you add up to 19 with. So you're a number 4 because you're a seed. So the seed is the 4th sign. And so plus 15 is 19. So the 15th sign is the eagle. So this is your most compatible. So your most compatible is your purpose. No, so your purpose and your most compatible are the same.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then your mystery is whoever you got up to 21 with.
Right.
So if you are a seed 4 and then you want to be 21, then you have to have, I think, here, 17. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that's 4. And so that's you. So you plus 17 makes 21.
Oh, okay. So because it's a number 4 plus 17 makes 21 and 21.
Then the 17th sign is your mystery, because 17 plus 4 equals 21. So your mystery is whoever you add up to 21 with. No, so you plus 17 is 21. So that means that the 17th sign, which is Kaban or the earth, is your mystery. So then you have to draw this one underneath you on the chart.
So how would I know that that's the 17th sign?
Well, you just count them from top to bottom. Some books, like on my book, it has 1st of 20 or 3rd of 20, and I actually mention it in that little book, but here they just didn't put it. No, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these ones, the signs have both qualities. They have the quality of the archetype and the quality of the number they represent. No, so
okay. So when it goes to 1 again,
it's like but that is because it's lined up with the what's it called, with the tones of the Mayan chart. So here I have a image that if I try to share.
So it's basically that you just keep counting on, yes? So it goes back to 1 after 13 because that's a week, but you just, on that table, you carry on counting.
Yeah, see here, so I have the tones.
Right.
And I have the archetypes.
What are the tones? They're the numbers?
The tones are the weeks, like they're the 1 through 13. So, okay. So this little circle here, 1 is 1 dot, 2 is 2 dots, 3 is 3 dots, 4 is 4 dots, 5 is a bar, 5 and 1 is 6. And so it's a very easy way of
like
writing
Roman
numbers.
Numerals. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And so each one of this lines up with each one of this every day. So here is like, I put my own chart now. So I put the sun, number 5, which is me, and the seed, number 1, which is me. And so I made this is like what the 2 calendars looked like when I was born. No?
Right.
But then it would shift. And so then it would be a dragon 6, and then it would be a wind 7, and then a knight 8, and then a seed 9. And so these are all the signs that I share my 13-day week with. And if you went forward, so this would be storm 4 and a mirror 3, earth 2, and a warrior 1. So I was born in the 13-day period of the warrior, and therefore the warrior is my purpose.
Yeah.
No? And so then this lines up with this, like the cogs on a watch. No? Yeah. So they're all like tick, tick, tick. And this, when it does all the possible rounds of all the circles to make all the combinations, it ends up looking like that other chart. No, the big square one with all the numbers. And so in that one, it's just that they're written down as normal numbers, and here they are with the Mayan numbers. But you could have the other chart also with this type of numbers instead, and it might make more sense then. But this is just to get a sense of like, oh, the Mayan calendar is made up of 2 cycles. One cycle is 13 days long and the other cycle is 20 days long, but they go hand in hand together. Right. And that's why this movement of the little 13-day period with the bigger of the 20-day period, together they make a frequency. And that frequency is that frequency of quantum intent. No, so it is the movement of 2 cycles in perfect relationship with each other that creates the magic of the calendar.
Got you. Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think we have all the pieces of the chart.
Yes.
Okay, so we have all the pieces of the chart, and so then I could say of your inner chart that you are a seed. Oh no, we changed your chart. It's not here anymore.
It's the 11th of August, 1977. Mind you, that's you as well. Of course, you look younger.
I do.
You do, absolutely.
That's because I'm a rascal, I think. I totally have never been able to become mature or something. I mean, I have become more responsible, yes, or not necessarily more mature. So here, your chart is like the seed. No, so the seed is individual consciousness. So your inner self is all about me, and your outer self is about everything and everyone. No, so in your inner self, you have to focus all on your own personal exploration, your own adventures, your own journeys. And me as a person that does readings, and I believe you probably do readings as well for people of your own type of astrology.
Past life.
So In a lot of ways, the seed has to have many different diverse experiences because it is the grandmother's storyteller, and you cannot tell the stories that you have not lived. So many of the things you are meant to share on your one-on-one connections with people are a lot about your journeys and about the highs and the lows. And the seed is a spider, and the spider loves to go into the weird, dark, yucky, like fighting with scorpions, and it's this like weird realm that this spider can go in. And so the spider is almost like a tourist of the darkness. It likes to go weird, strange, get along with people that are dangerous or whatever, but then it ends up going to like Stonehenge for a meditation of empowerment of the divine connection, so it has both. It has like super duper high and the super like scary, and maybe even some of the people that you might know might end up in terrible situations in their life, and you could have ended up that same way, but then you didn't.
That's true. My husband loves spiders. It's his favorite.
And the spider has a web, and it saves your neck every time. It's this total Spider-Man effect.
My husband saved a spider from being stuck in another spider's web. It was a tiny spider, and he gave it a shave. Like he was shaving the web. He was shaving him all his legs out of the web. And by the end of it, the spider was like, at first it was really freaked, but by the end of it, it was like, and then it just, he had a moment with the spider. It's a small thing here in England, not like the ones we have in Mexico. Like
my house is a spider kingdom too. I was just paying attention the other day. I'm like, oh my god, I think they're all just totally, because I'm a quintuple spider. Like I am a seed guided by the seed with the purpose of the seed, and then in my integration it's a seed guided by a seed. So I have like 5 spiders in my chart, and so it's like my house is just this spider kingdom. Many people from your country
are in the seed. Is that
each archetype of the calendar has an animal that goes with it. For the sun, which is your outer self, this is called your Nahual, which is like your animal spirit.
Okay, I get you.
For the sun, your animal spirit is a human being, and that's why human beings are so important to you as teachers and also as students. So each human being is your teacher and your student. And so you're like this constant processor that is absorbing all of the consciousness and experience of everyone around you. And in your one-on-one connections through your work, you totally like suck up all their being, and then you regurgitate it.
That's a great marketing. Suck
with
you up and regurgitate you.
But when it comes out through the internal workings of your spider grandmother, which is the seed. So in your inner being, you have this spider grandmother, which is the Nahual of the seed. The grandmother spider is the totem of the seed. So in your inner self, you have this storyteller that is weaving the web and connecting all the dots and bringing the full pattern into view. But that is like the inner workings of your consciousness. And so the sun absorbs the person you're with, and then the grandmother spider weaves the story and makes sense of all the archetypes and puts it all with your own personal experience. And then it comes out through the sun again, but with the storytelling of the grandmother spider.
Oh, it's so true.
So that's how you can start looking at the meanings of these things when you start looking at your chart. And so as a grandmother spider storyteller weaver of the jungle, of the seed, your biggest challenge is the jaguar. This one, which is the servant of the divine, because the seed is all self-serving. Because it's weaving the web of life, and it has to be focused. So it's like a spider weaves her own web, but she's weaving the web of life. So it's not like she's weaving her own web for herself. She's weaving the web of life, but she has to focus on herself the way seeds have to focus on themselves to grow also. Seeds can't be worried about all the plants around. They have to focus on their own roots and their own survival. And but after a while, seeds become humongous oak trees that are gorgeous and with lots of food and shelter and support for everybody, with shade and shelter in the storm, and all these birds nests and squirrels and everyone, owls, everybody. So seeds begin as like appearing to be self-serving because they're just a little seed and all they can do is focus on themselves. But as they begin to grow into maturity, it takes forever to the seed, because the seed appears to be a teenager that is not taking charge of anything for a long, long time, just the way trees take forever to grow. But then once the tree reaches maturity, and it is like a formidable tree that it will inevitably become if it focuses on itself, then it becomes a pillar of life and a pillar of the community and gives sustenance to everybody, no, and protection to everybody, and all this fuel, and it puts the mountain together, it keeps it from washing away, like so many things. And so the seed usually is sometimes disregarded as like, oh yeah, whatever, she's just into herself, she just does whatever she wants, she's in her own trip. No, but then as the seed begins to reach maturity, all of a sudden now everyone's coming to you for advice, and when they're freaking out, they find stability with you, and when they are totally falling apart, you help to put them back together. But that is something that when the seed is still not totally mature, most people don't even realize that that is the direction things are growing in. And so sometimes people like diss you, they're like, hey, you, meh. I'm just
totally get that too.
And so the seed can never be faced by people's dismissal of its choices, because the seed has to grow into the person it will be, and it will only do so by making the choices that it is making. And so then with this challenge, this is to be a servant of the divine. So this is to be above all that, and to more just listen to what spirit wants you to do, and to be willing to shapeshift and become a butterfly, or to become a lion, or to be different, and to do so because you have to serve others, and you need to let go of relationships you have outgrown, but you also need to be available to spirit to influence you and lead you where it wants you to go. And so this is a path of the servant of the divine. And the Mayan elders, that are the shamans, call themselves my master's little donkey, because they say that they're there to serve spirit, and spirit rides them hard, and they have to wake up at 4 a.m. to go do this and that and do. And so for this one, the foundation is discipline and practice of all of the techniques that allow you to stay really fluid in your perception, so that you can continuously shapeshift more and more to serve the divine. And this is also about becoming empowered in the wisdom and power of the feminine. And so to be a true woman of power and magic, which the seed often doesn't appear to be, because the seed's just like, I'm so cute. And it's still very sensual and sexual, but it doesn't always come with the like power and regality of like the jaguar priestess. And so that is where you grow. So you grow facing your jaguar priestess, you grow surrendering to your discipline and the practice and blah, blah, blah. And then your mystery is this, which is Kaban, and that's the earth. And this is the wisdom of the earth, and the wisdom of all the crystals and the plants and the oracles and the numerologies and the symbologies of the dreams and the practices of the sexual energy and the lucid dreaming and the breath work and the yoga and acupuncture, like all the medicines you can imagine. And so this is like your ultimate mystery. This is also the intelligence of the whole world. So as a seed, you're like the intelligence of the tiny unit of the jungle, and you're a part of the living, thriving jungle. But even the jungle isn't the consciousness of the whole entire planet, every system. All the insects, all the mammals, all the water mammals, all the amphibians, all the invertebrates, all the elements, all the volcanoes, all the wind patterns, all the clouds, all the storms, all the fires, all the droughts, all the people situations, all the environmental situations, all the solar flares. It's just like, this one is like the communication and the intelligence of the whole feminine matrix of all life. and the interconnectedness of all the symbolisms, all the medicines, all the communications, and all the tongues that the goddess speaks through. And so that is like your ultimate mystery. This is like your quest.
To understand Earth.
To just dive into the mystery, because for you is the unknown. So you have no way of navigating it coherently. No, you just have to just dive and just wing it and pretend until you fake it till you make it.
Yep. Oh dear. Imposter syndrome has just been.
And then your most compatible is the eagle here, which is this eagle, third eye view, overseer, collaborator, co-creator of the whole entire planet, to be able to bring many different traditions and techniques and things together for this big collaboration and co-creation. And this doesn't want any melodrama, doesn't want to get tied down by relationships, it doesn't want to belong to any particular community, it wants to be able to fly and be free and be able to delegate and be able to really focus on what you have to do rather than doing all the menial tasks that other people could do. And so you need to always be connecting with your true gift. And the seed and the eagle is your most compatible with, it's also your purpose. And so the seed and the eagle are compatible with each other, which can lead to stagnation and lack of growth. So you always need to be renewing your sense of purpose. You always need to be renewing how you are focusing your purpose. Because even though you could be totally tied into your purpose and know exactly what your purpose is, if you always do it in the same way and with the same people and in the same place, and then it just becomes really repetitive and it just doesn't give you any butterflies in your stomach anymore. And you need to be able to feel at your edge in order to really expose your deepest creativity, and have your moments of breakthrough that you are personally driven to manifest. Because when you have a compatible purpose, then that means that you have to be the one willing to risk the stability you've gained for the sake of expanding yourself, even if you don't have a guarantee that's going to pan out. But because you have it compatible, then most of the time it usually feels pretty good. As long as you stay on top of things, which usually you feel so scared of risking everything when you do take risks that you probably get super anal about keeping everything, all the ducks in a row, and that means that assures your success.
I don't know. I mean, that's interesting because I've got Mercury in Virgo, which would probably be the same kind of interpretation. But generally, I feel more like the phoenix rising from the ashes, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. Eagle makes me think of that, but I think I get to a certain point where it's just like it has to something. It's like the tower in the tarot. So you have the devil, which is like this stuck part, and the next card is the tower, which blows everything apart, and then you get to the star, which is like if you wing it, if you fake it till you make it, if you just keep on trusting in the path, it works out. But I think people would say, those that know me, that I tend to just be quite reckless. At certain points I will just go, I don't care, I'm just doing this and I'm doing it now, and it's a very instantaneous thing. I'm not very good with numbers or details or anything like that, but there is definitely points in my life where I feel that snake skin shedding, and it does it in an instant, if that's what you mean. But maybe
the chart always, like, the interesting thing once you begin to do an interpretation is to look at both pieces together. So when I do a reading for a person, I usually first do their inner self and then I do their outer self, but then I connect how their whole reality functions one with the other. So for you, in your inner self, you're like individual consciousness, but your outer self is to be a servant of life and a teacher of everybody. But then in that you have to be a hermit and get away from everyone. But there your most compatible is to be a hurricane and to just manifest your own profession, and this you do through the thunderbolt of lightning of unconditional love and a quickening of awareness, no? And so then you begin to tie all the pieces together, no? So then you look at, okay, well, in the inner self is the seed, and the seed has the biggest challenge to be the servant of the divine. The dog has the biggest challenge to be in a loving companion of destiny situation. And then, like, say this year, because we're both in the same cycles, you are going through a dog year, just like I'm going through a dog year. And this is a year for both of us to face our challenge of connecting with our companions of destiny, which the more that you and I talk, the more that it feels like, well, obviously we have to do this work together, no? And so this is through the professional side of our life. This isn't through our intimate personal connection. But because we are in a year of connecting with true companions of destiny through our job, then we are connecting with some other person that has this super intimate understanding of things that can end up leading to really being family, no, even though it is coming through the external aspect of life, not the intimate aspect of life, no? So this is our year for each one of us individually to be connecting our job with companions of destiny that help to work with us, but from a different sense of companionship and a different sense of family and a different sense of also boundaries and taking better care of yourself. And because in a wolf pack, all the wolves are self-responsible, no one is bad at marking their territory or marking their boundaries, because they respect themselves, and then they all can respect each other. No, and so this is like a thing of, you have to build yourself up and take care of yourself first before you can start running into people who also take care of themselves, and therefore you enter into true mature connections rather than codependent connections.
For sure, that's a massive teaching of it all as well at the moment. The word codependent is a lot of things that it's a lot of the message I'm putting out there at the moment. So yeah, makes sense.
So you can see how the whole chart is all starts coming together, no? But then, because I do also the interpretation of the chart of birth, but then as a beginning introduction into my readings, I usually also do the year, no? So then you get to look at, like, okay, so this is the year I'm going through, and this is who I was born to be. So you can see, okay, now I am dealing with these themes, because this is the moment to deal with this, even though it's also part of my chart. So you were born already with a definite dynamic that includes these attributes, but then they get highlighted on given years or given days or given relationships, depending on how the whole thing lines up.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, with the transits.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, you and I meet on the year where we're both going through the same like energy here of working with people, no? Because I'm usually with my thing, I'm a loner, no? Okay. I do my thing, no? But now I have this dog in my chart, and you have it too, and so now we're like, okay.
Love it. Okay, so how would people know about it sounds like it's a dog year for everyone?
No, every year is different from everybody, because this is based on your date of birth. Okay. And so everyone has their own personal cycles. And then there is like the collaborative year of everybody, that yeah. I usually don't even pay attention to that, but this year, I think it's a seed year. So I think the whole year is a seed, or maybe it just finished and start a new one, because there's like July 27th or something is called the Day Out of Time. I don't even remember really exactly what day it is, but whatever day falls on the Day Out of Time, then the next day is like the energy for the whole year. Okay. And I think this year we're in a seed. I usually never look at that part of the calendar, because I'm always doing personal readings for people, and so I'm always focusing on their cycle. And and our personal cycles are always what we're mostly engaging in. No, the other one is more like what the whole planet is doing.
Okay, but if people needed to know that, that's something they'd need to connect with you on, because this is the natal chart, isn't it? It's like how to decipher what you are in astrology. And so just by using this website, it looks like you can do that fine, and you can click things and it will show them, and then there's the other links that we'll have around for you guys. And also it doesn't look, I don't understand why we need these apps if this does it all. Is it just...
because sometimes people don't have a computer and you cannot use this website on the phone. And so the other ones you use for the phone, and these ones you use with the computer.
Okay.
For sharing the screen and everything, it's easier to just do it on the website.
Okay, all right. So really those apps are just for people that don't have a computer.
So the people that are going to be taking the class on the computer, they can just use the website. And for people that want to be able to have the handy approach of being able to figure out a Mayan sign on their phone, then they can use the apps.
Right. Okay. Bless you.
Thank you.
Is that divinely timed? Is that like, ta-da?
Yeah.
We start with ventriloquist and we end with a sneeze. There we go.
So, I don't want to grab my phone because I'm scared of unplugging the internet. But
you want me to?
If you put the app, we can just show really quickly where they figure out their chart. So in both apps, you have to enter your date of birth.
Which one?
And each one has it in a different place. So we can do the Token Explorer first.
Okay, which is the orangey one. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there, what you do is you touch the date. And then you select date.
Yeah.
And there you put your date of birth.
Okay. 11th of August, everyone. I don't expect anybody to forget my birthday this year.
There must be gifts every year now. No excuse.
Now I've given my age away.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be like your inner self Mayan sign, which is the seed number 10, and it has that purpose there. And so then if you press done, then you would be able to see the whole little thing there. And so you have the yellow at the bottom, you have the yellow number 10, so that's seed 10, and then the one over next to it is the eagle, and so that would be the purpose. So this app gives you the sign with the tone, and then on the right of it, it gives you the purpose.
Okay, so the sign is the day of the week that I was born.
Yeah. And then I usually get out of there after that because that app doesn't have a lot of more information. I mean, if you touch the signs, I think it opens definitions of the signs, which are pretty cool. Yeah, that one's fun to look at. You can explore it, and if you have my workbook and the apps, and you like play with them and touch different things and see what opens and what doesn't, then you can start your own little research and read about things.
Oh, it's quite interesting because it has like past, future, masculine, feminine.
Yeah, and so then that is because the way the ancient Maya worked with the calendar, it takes in all of these other different language attributes and different ways of looking at things that are, a little bit different from how the dream spell people do it. So both calendars have their own system, but they're both based on the Mayan calendar. And then you open the other app.
1320 Sync, yes?
Yeah. And so in 1320 Sync, at the bottom, on that little black bar at the bottom, there is somewhere that says, I don't even know what it says, but it's like, think like the fourth or the fifth one.
Calendar notes, kin picker contacts, 1320 info.
I think maybe kin picker.
Kin picker. I might need to reload it. It's kind of don't know why I've got Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, and Nelson Mandela showing up on my phone at the moment. That's pretty awesome. Right. Yep. Oh, okay. They are my kin pickers. Ooh. What does that mean? Does that mean like I am the same tone as Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa, and the same seal? What's the seal? Like the archetypes?
Yeah, the seal is architect. Yeah, this app is based on the language of the dream spell calendar, which is all like futuristic and new agey. So they use lots of words that sometimes seem a little out there, but it's just because they like it to sound that way. And so where you actually find your date of birth there is in today. So you press today.
Today.
So you go back to the home page.
Yep. Okay. Back to the home page, which is calendar.
Yeah. And then you press today.
And then I press today. Yep.
And there you put your date of birth.
Which is
August 11th.
Oh dear, 1977. Okay, done.
And so then that is the magnetic sun. So then you can close with the little X where the dates are. And so there, that is your chart. No, so that is what the cross looks like. See, so you have the sun with the sun above, and then you have the dog and the storm and the dragon underneath. And then on the far left, you have your purpose.
Yeah.
The sun. And so
that's a lot of sun.
It's super handy because remember how we just figured out your Quiche sign in the other app? Yeah. And that one only had the sign, the tone, and the purpose. And so in this app, if you look at the bottom and on the little black bar at the bottom of the page, you see this one that says kin picker.
Yep.
So you press kin picker.
Yep.
And then you end up with that. So there, on where it says magnetic, lunar, you go to number 10. So go to planetary.
Okay. So magnetic, lunar, planetary. Yep.
So, and then at the bottom, pick the seed, which is the fourth one. So you have dragon, wind, night, seed. So now you have seed number 10, and that is your inner self. And so the page above, right there, just swipe it to the left, and more information will be revealed.
Oh, I think I might have done that already.
So there,
the names have changed. So I don't know if that happened automatically.
Yeah, they changed because you picked at the bottom. So right at the bottom, whatever you choose at the bottom affects what shows up in the screen above. So that is how you can see what. So you swipe again.
Swipe.
Or you did all the way to the end. No, it's just like page by page. So go to the first one.
I can swipe right, but not left.
Yeah, you can go, like forward. So that is the first page where it has a poem. No, it says, I manifest in order to whatever.
No, I don't know. Like I seem to be on page 9. Like these I guess are the page.
Okay, so this is, let me.
So if I go right back to the beginning, is that what?
So this is in 9.
Yeah, I got the.
So this is the first page.
Yeah.
And
okay.
This is the second page.
Yeah.
This is the third page. And so here you have the exact same cross that you did for the dream spell, but now it is for your Quiche. And so now you could write down all the signs based on that.
Okay, is the bottom one.
Yeah, for the bottom one.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put here the seed. So see, if I am doing this your chart, then I would have the seed and the human and the jaguar and the eagle and the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do one more. Now I have the 13-day week. So I can find the purpose, which would be the first one.
The first one on at the top, the eagle, is that one, yes?
Yeah. Yeah. The first one at the top would be this little blue one. So
yeah.
This app is super cool because since it has this skin picker thing, you can change the signs and the tones at the bottom, and it will give you the information of whatever you put in there. No, so if on the quiche you're a magnetic dragon and you don't know what that means, then you put the magnetic here and the dragon there, and then it will give you all the pages with all your information, and it will show you where you are on the sign. I mean, on the calendar, you know, what year, I mean, what day of the year of the Mayan calendar you are, and what 13-day week you are, and this is your cross. And then this part here is just looking at the signs that you line up with in your chart. And so this part of this app is super handy for that reason. And so usually what I do is I figure out the people's Mayan sign on the other app, and then I just move to this app, and in this one I figure out both the dream spell and then all the other information for the other chart. So this app is very practical for that reason.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
That's a lot of information. You're welcome.
It's a lot of information, isn't it? But I think I definitely feel like I got more than when I was holding the webinar, because I think I was so like trying to run a webinar. So I think, or maybe it's just a case of doing it a couple of times, like you say, repetitivity. That's a word.
I also didn't get to express about anybody's chart, very much like I just did for you. I explained to you about the different pieces because there were so many people, it's really complicated. That's why in the retreat, we're actually going to sit around for a couple hours, and I will have time for everybody one-on-one and everybody together also.
Great. Yeah. Yes. We haven't really said much about that, but we're assuming that that Aiesha is teaching Mayan astrology to you guys that are coming to this place on the screen to learn for the past life and Mayan astrology New Year, New Decade retreat. So yes, we're going to dive deep into time and really cleanse in this incredibly powerful place so that we start this new decade really on track with our seeds, our purposes, and knowing what we are doing in our evolution of going from the past to the future. So you want to come and meet Aiesha and myself in person in this amazing paradise, which it really is. And here's your opportunity right here, right now. And I think that's it for now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Can't wait to meet you in the flesh. Okay.
Yeah.
About a month. Not long to go.
No, not long at all.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you too.
And if anybody wants a reading with you, they just go to your website as well, Aiesha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can contact me through my website.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Where's that button? Bye now.